Rachamana deyane deyane lani oy oy Rachamana deyane deyane lani oy oy Rachamana deyane.
Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I apologize for the lack of video posting for a while. As you can see, I've been very busy. Thank God I gave birth to a healthy baby boy, and you know, it's a lot of work, but I don't mind. He's so sweet, he's so cute. So we're back at it, hopefully coming with some more videos your way. And it's a very special time of the year. In just a couple of days we'll be celebrating Rosh Hashana, literally the head of the year, the Jewish New Year. And there's a lot of things that we do at this time. It's a very significant time. We believe that this is when God judges us, our deeds and our misdeeds, what we've done in the past year, what we've achieved, what we failed to achieve. And we also believe that God at this time will decide what we get in the new year. Will we have an easy year? Will it be difficult? Will we have money? Will we not? Will we be healthy, please God, or not? So it's a very serious time, but on the other hand, we celebrate just like the other Jewish festivals with good drink, good food. So how can we understand this? A time of serious judgment. How can we be sitting and eating and drinking? The answer is, of course, we do take it seriously. We do spend a significant amount of time in shul, in synagogue, praying, davening for a good, sweet judgment. On the other hand, we enjoy, we have the good food and drink, like I said, and that's because we have faith in God that, you know, we've done all that we can and that He will bless us with a sweet new year. It's also an ancient Jewish custom to have symbolic sweet foods to symbolize a sweet new year. So come along with me. We're going to make some yummy food in preparation for Rosh Hashana. Come along with us. Let me know what you think in the comments. Wishing you all a sweet and happy new year. Shana Tova u'metuka.
So we're starting off with our KFC, our kosher fried chicken, except that it's not fried, so a little bit healthier. So we've got our seasoning. Okay, we see here we've got our garlic, our breadcrumbs, our chicken spice, Robertson spice from South Africa. We love the stuff. And we've got our chicken clean, prepared, cut, and ready to go. So we're going to season our breadcrumbs. Any good schnitzeling / breadcrumbs, it's always going to be good when you've seasoned it. Season every layer of your food. We're getting our mayonnaise prepped, and we're going to go, okay, just like you can imagine, schnitzel style. We're going to cover each piece of chicken in the mayonnaise. Make sure it's coated very well. We're going to put it into our seasoned breadcrumbs. Okay, make sure, of course, that it's coated really nicely. And these pieces are really big. So, you know, make sure the bigger your pieces, the longer they're going to bake in the oven. I'm shaking off any excess breadcrumbs, and that is going to go into our Pyrex dish ready for the oven. So you're going to get all your pieces prepared like this and make sure they're spaced out nicely. We're going to do it in 2 batches because they're such big pieces of chicken. As I said, big pieces, leave it longer. I'm going to put it in the oven 180 Celsius for about an hour, but do check to make sure your chicken is ready. Look at that deliciousness. All the juices go to the bottom. It stays crispy on top. Absolutely delicious, easy, and highly recommended. Next, we're going to go with our scalloped potatoes. Now, this is super simple, but it is such a crowd pleaser. It is so impressive. Well, it looks impressive, and it's really so easy. So I'm just, you know, cutting away any bad part of the potato, and I'm cutting through the potato like an accordion, 3/4 of the way down, stopping when I'm close to the bottom, and you can see it's created this accordion-like effect. I'm getting that into my oven dish. As I said, super simple, but, you know, looks cool, tastes good, of course. So I thought I'd give this a try for a change instead of my usual chopped potatoes roasted in the oven. So once that's all ready, we're going to put some olive oil on the top. Be generous. We want each potato to be coated really nicely and generously. Of course, we don't want it to be, swimming in the oil, but it will evaporate during the cooking process. So they're all doused in their oil and ready for seasoning. We're going to go in with whatever seasoning you like. I've got salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder. You can also use, any potato seasoning of your choice. It's really up to you. That's going to go in the oven, 180 Celsius for about an hour. Do keep checking on it. Depending on your oven, it could be quicker. It could take a bit longer. So just check on that and see when your potatoes are ready. They're going to come out super delicious, crunchy on the bottom, and so flavorful, so beautiful, and it really will impress your guests. So give it a try and let me know how it goes. The next dish we have was an absolute crowd pleaser. Everybody loved it. The kids, my husband, it was delicious. I'm lining the bottom of our baking dish with some onions, making it colorful here, whatever onions you prefer. And then garlic on the top. This is one of my few recipes that I don't fry the onion and garlic, which was cool for a change. So that's going at the bottom of my dish. And then I've got a nice roast, whatever cut of meat you like. We're going to season that heavily with salt and pepper and paprika. Now I'm used to usually, braising this in a frying pan, getting it brown on each side, browning it. But this recipe we're going to do a bit differently. So as you see here, we're seasoning it. Now this is going to go in a very hot oven, about 200 Celsius for an hour. Okay, and we will see when it comes out how beautiful the crust, the bark of the meat is. That's what it's going to create. So of course, as usual, all the instructions are going to be in the description box below. But don't worry, I'm here talking you through it as well. See, here we are an hour later. You can see already how those onions have caramelized. We've already got this beautiful sauce that is marinating in, and we're going to go in with our actual marinade. We've got our balsamic vinegar, going in with a cup of that. Okay, that's our tartness, and we're going to balance it with the sweetness, of course. We've got the Worcester sauce, which is also the salty flavor. Gives a very unique flavor. If you don't have it, don't worry. Can also do without it. And for our Rosh Hashana special, we're going to use Silan, which is date syrup. Okay, that's one of the Jewish symbolisms, the date for a sweet new year. And maybe if you need a date, if you're single, if you want to go on a date with your husband or your wife, I'm also going to put in honey. Now I know the honey and the Silan are both sweet. I decided to add them both. You do not have to. You could choose one or the other. I'm going to mix that in. Do give it a taste. You want to see it's not too salty, not too sugary, not too sweet, but we do want a sweet new year. But of course, we want to balance the flavors nicely. Get that on top of our roast. Okay, we're going to lower the temperature of the oven. We're going to cover this up tightly. Now this is going to go and roast in the oven, low and slow, low temperature for about 3 hours. But I'm going to check on it every hour. You'll see I'm going to flip it over. That's to ensure that the juices are going all over, that, everything is cooking evenly. And trust me, it's worth the wait. It's really, really worth it. And it's absolutely delicious. And of course, everything is very hot, so keep your oven mitts on. Safety first. As I said, in the oven, very slow cooking. Take your time. Okay, here you can see I'm turning it halfway, and then we're going to recover it and put it back for the rest of the cooking time. So this was about halfway through. Once your roast is ready, we're going to take it out and let it rest until it's cool. We can't cut it when it's hot, of course. Now look at that, the crispy bark on the outside and the tender, delicious meat on the inside. So I'm cutting that into the slices. We did a small roast this time because it was just the immediate family. Of course, cook the roast that you like. There it is back in the sauce. It was really delicious, a real hit, and I highly recommend it. Last but not least, one of our desserts. I'm not going to show all our desserts, but one of our favorites are our oatmeal cookies. We've got our flour, our cinnamon. Okay, we're first doing our dry ingredients, of course. Our baking powder, baking soda. and some salt, of course, to balance that sweetness with that saltiness. So get that mixed up really well. Now we're moving on to our wet ingredients. I've got butter or margarine, depending if you want the cookies to be dairy or dairy-free, and it should be room temperature. We've got our brown sugar, our white sugar, and I'm adding my Silan again, the Rosh Hashana theme, the date syrup. You can also use molasses. This is going to give us the same taste and texture that the molasses would. So I would recommend doing this step and not skipping it. You want that extra sweetness for that sweet new year. Of course, you could use a mixer, an electric mixer, to incorporate your butter and sugars and everything. As you can see, I'm not doing that. I'm just doing it by hand. It may take a few extra minutes, but not too difficult. Now, we're very slowly going to incorporate 2 eggs. So you see I'm doing it one at a time. You want to make sure that's mixed in. We do not want scrambled eggs. So one at a time and get it mixed in very well. We're going to add a touch of vanilla essence. That's going to give it a nice flavor. And incorporate our wet with our dry ingredients. Of course, getting that all well incorporated, all mixed in together. You don't want to see any bits of flour left over. No. Make sure it's all mixed in well. And this is, I must say, was a very good workout for my arms. Old school without a mixer. I'm going in with my oats, regular plain oats, nothing fancy. And this is one of the stars of the show, of course, oatmeal cookies. And of course, you're going to want to make sure that the ingredients get all over those oats, that they're really combined as one to make our incredible cookies. Now, my husband and I have a bit of a debate. He is team raisin, I am team chocolate chips, so I'm going to divide the batter. Let me know in the comments, are you team raisin or are you chocolate chip? Let me know. In my opinion, chocolate chip is the only way to go. I don't believe that my dried fruit should mix with the rest of my dessert, but that's just my personal opinion. So, of course, whatever you choose, you're going to mix that well into our oatmeal cookie dough, and then we're ready to roll it into even-sized balls. We're going to get it onto a baking sheet and baking tray. I've preheated my oven to about 170 Celsius, and they're going to bake for 10 minutes. Watch it very carefully. You want them to be slightly golden, not burnt. If they look slightly undercooked in the center, that's good. That's what we're going for. And then you're going to want to let them completely cool down once they're out the oven before you serve them or put them away. Absolutely delicious for Rosh Hashana dessert or for breakfast in the morning. Highly recommended. I hope you enjoyed all these recipes. Let me know. Chag Sameach. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a Shana Tova Umetu. Shana Tova.
Rachamana de ane lani, oy oy ane lani.